because this is the author is a French lady, and she's the wife of a counselor in Shanghai, French to China, the general counselor's wife. So she knows French and Chinese, and she said because someone called her to tell her that they found like 50 boxes of some document associated with this person, with C.T. Lu. And she spent many years and finally comes out this book. Right now talks all the stories and the histories, the real histories based on the letters. This is the agreement I received from this company, New Central Publishing Company. You only can know SDMA, okay? And also part 3 means today. Originally, I didn't plan to have this part. That's why I was make me like a crazy, so busy for a whole month after I received from March 7th. And what happened? After I read through all the book, I found out the relationship with C.T. Lu. The donors to our museum is, you can see, Frederick Jackson, and he donated 12 paintings of fan paintings. And those the one, Dr. Little also mentioned someone is even on gold, mounted on gold. Okay, this is not the one. I'll show you this. See, this one is the on gold paper. Yeah. Okay, Lan and I only show you 2 because I don't have a lot of time. And this one is also on gold paper, like Qian Gu. I'm not quite sure this person. I didn't do the detailed study yet, but I just show you that's the paintings. And also, this one is by Huang Sen. That's by another donor. See, the second one is a bequest of Earl W. Grant. He donated 10 of the paintings is Huang Sen on silk, and that's also Dr. Little also mentioned this one, like the world peace or something like that. And I found out one is by Frederick G. Jackson because she bought all the fan paintings and also another painting from Wang Yuanqi. For the artist is Wang Yuanqi. Is all from the person is from they call it Jean-Pierre Dubosc, and this person, when Dr. Little, when he examined all the paintings, he just told us one thing. He said, this French dealer, every painting is from him is will be real, would be real. So I just remembered this name, but I never know what's the painting associated with. So later I found out, it's from this person. I said those fan paintings are from him. And then I said, who's him? So I went back to the internet, I checked. I said, how the French person will know Chinese so well, right? So then I found out, his wife, the first wife is Jenny Lu. And then I said, his wife is Chinese. Okay, that makes sense. But then later I said, who's Jenny Lu? Said, her father is C.T. Lu. Okay, the most important person in the, okay, let me see. Okay, the C.T. Lu. This is from our AAC meeting minutes. We received this is 1950, the end of 1950. That's C.T. Lu have a liquidation sale, and also that's his catalog. Okay, all the Chinese stuff and the price too. And see, that's
So he was a collector.
yeah,
Yeah.
he
He
is.
was a collector.
He's an art dealer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then you can see that's a New York City and that's his address. So what happened? Okay, the viewpoint from different angles. The Chinese will think he's a looter, he's a traitor, and a criminal, every bad things, okay? And then finally they will say he should be sentenced to death penalty. Okay, but the view from European America, see the foremost dealer in Asia arts, the prominent dealer, the most important dealer in the 20th century, generous donors to many museums, and he received 2 medals from the Louvre and 1 from Belgium the government. And everybody said he has a good character. He's so knowledgeable. His insight have a really good insight and honest, upright, all good words in this side. And also he's doing a lot of fundraising to helping a lot of people and support many orphans in wars. And also when he helped a lot of French friends when the World War I happened and they don't have a lot of food. So he mailed to just one family, he mailed 7 times already. So the person said, oh, we are so appreciate this is the 7th package you already mailed to us. So all he showed, this book talks about many letters is from all different kind of people. So when he died and a lot of museum curators and directors say all the good words to him, said that he's the most important person. Without him, in America, in the museums probably won't have this kind of ability to have such wonderful collections is presentable to everyone for Eastern Asia arts. Okay, so then we talk about his suppliers. He has 3 major supplies. One is north of Changjiang Yangtze River, is in Beijing. Is from Liu Li Chang. Liu Li Chang is for all antiques. That's the place here, there. So he got 2 people work with him for 15 years, and then in Shanghai is the person Wu Qizhou is a son of a county governor. He's worked with him for many years. In the beginning, his company's name is Lu Wu, because he would like the Louvre, okay, Louvre, the French in Paris. He tried to make the name quite similar. In Chinese, it's a Lu Wu, like okay. And also, he also collected a lot of stuff from India and Cambodia. So he has an agent for him too. And he encouraged that person, donated many great sculptures to museums in East Coast, many. So, okay, probably I should finish the one. Okay.
When did he live?
Okay, I should move that page to the first. Okay, he was born in 1880. Okay, 1880. Yeah. So and he died in 1957. Yeah. Later I have the line chart, but I probably put in the back. So it's okay. We will talk about SDMA collections first. So this, so those, and the Ambassador Drumrider and the Mrs. Drumrider gift have a 70 in the calligraphy album. We just talk about one is Li Yuying, the other one is Hu Si. Both of them later they met with C.T. Lu. I will talk about that later. And also from the Dubosc and the James Cahill. James Cahill was so famous. Do you know Chinese? I don't know who he is, but I saw all the books with his name. You know, he was the person with President Nixon when the first time when China opened the door. So have many scholars and museum curators went to China the first time with Nixon, President Nixon together. He's one of them. And he was the Freer Museum's curator at that time. And
I don't know. I don't know if I should love him or hate him because my daughter, because of him, studied art history.
but he was working in Freer Museum at that time, and later he went to Berkeley, become professor since then, until 2 years ago he passed away, I believe. Yeah, and then I found out, you know, like, because James Cahill, after the museum received all those 20 paintings, so they wrote a letter, said, asked for Cahill, said, can you validate for us the authentication? So he wrote a letter back. He said, sure, no problem. You can mail them to me, and then I will do it. So I was so excited. I went to talk with Bob Wallace. I asked him, I said, did you write the letter, or did you send the painting to him or not? If James Cahill knows those paintings are real, then we will feel better, right? And then Bob said, no, we didn't. So they didn't mail all the paintings to him. I think probably need some money, you know, probably that's why. And but he's the person, Chinese name is Gao Juhan. You probably heard it, Gao Juhan. He went to Palace Museum in Beijing. Looks like they said it's more than 20 or 30 times. He's the only person can go into the Palace Museum to see all their collections. So he's very famous in the Chinese collections. And then I found out in Hong Kong, 1960, have they call Chinese art collectors and the scholars collection club, and Dubosc and James Cahill and Lawrence Sigman. Lawrence Sigman, you will know, that's later will associate with City Loop. That's Nielsen Atkins Museum in Kansas City. And he's the person received so many donations from City Loop, and make his, I have a photo, pictures to show you later. And C.C. Wang was in New York City when he was 94. I have saw him. He come to my teacher's conference, and his student brought us to see, some Chinese paintings they auctioned from, because C.C. Wang always go to auctions, and his student also learned with him to auction all the Chinese paintings, and then they sell to to make more money or something like that. So this the time I found out when one person said they celebrate this society. Then I found out he also mentioned about the S.M. Hsiao, because he said S.M. Hsiao formed a collectors, ancient arts collectors club, also on that time. But later he said that in their yearly newsletter, they didn't mention his name anymore. Probably he passed away in around 1960. He sent all the painting to us in 1964, and then 2 years later he published the second book, 1966. So I believe it's after that. So the Huang Sen is on silk. So right now you didn't see, but on silk is quite really beautiful paintings, and that's the only calligraphy I cannot understand. The script style is very difficult. And I remember my husband always would like to learn the script style with cursive style with my teacher and with Wu Yi, and my teacher said, no, you cannot, because that's the the highest level. He must start it from the beginner's level first. Okay. Okay, that's because I showed this painting, I have one story just to share. See the beautiful calligraphy. After the first year, after I showed this painting, then one friend saw my copy, and he said, "Can you come to my home?" He said, "My sister's home can. She has that painting, and would you mind help to find out that's true or not?" And so we went, and suddenly we saw the painting she has. It's really huge one. But after we climbed the ladder to see the signature, I said that's fake, because the one we had is so beautiful, and I said no one can really do that job. And then the lady said, "You are right, that's fake." Being proved is fake. Okay, but this is in honor of Carl Skinner. Carl Skinner, Bob Wallace told us that we had a plaque, but right now couldn't find out. That they named the Asia Arts Gallery have his name. So, okay. Okay, right now you see the client list. The first one, Charles Lamb Freer. He's the Freer Museum in Washington, D.C. He's the founder, okay? Then John D. Rockefeller Jr. All the rich people, all the famous people, see Huntington and Preston, Herbert Clark Hoover, J.P. Morgan, Benjamin Edmund, and Henry Clark Frick, and so on. And the museum is also Freer Museum, the Nielsen Atkinson Museum of Arts, the Met, and the UPenn Museum. That's I didn't find out his English name, so it's Aubrey. I couldn't have time to find out. That's the Museum du Louvre in Paris. Paris has 3 museums, and the Boston Art Museum and National Gallery of Arts, and the St. Louis Museum, the Cleveland Museum of Art, and also the British Museum in England, and much more. So the book is you can find out all the information. Okay, right now come to the line chart. My husband spent a really long time to work this for me. It's so difficult to do it. So actually it's 1880. He was born in Huzhou, Zhejiang province. And then 10 years later, he became an orphan. And around 17 or 18, he was a cook for Zhang Jinjiang. Do you know who is Zhang Jinjiang? He's a really rich family. The family is, they have like 60 workers in the home. Someone doing the gardening, some doing the cooker, all different kind of jobs. And but C.T. Lu was very young and very smart. And Zhang Jinjiang is crippled. He was, one of his eye is blind. However, he's the person donated most of the money to Dr. Sun Zhongshan, Sun Yixan, yeah. And when the revolution, that's what they call it. 1911 is Dr. Sun. The first time is 1908, also 05. Dr. Sun met with him, and on a boat, on a ship, and so he mentioned, he offered, he said, "Oh, if you need money for your revolution, then come over, just ask, and then I will give you the money." So he gave, right away, he gave him 3,000 pounds, check. And so Dr. Sun Yat-sen said, this person probably is fake, okay? So he asked another person, his name is Huang Xin. Huang Xin, you Chinese people know. He asked Huang Xin, said, how about try it? go to New York Bank, New York City, and then deposit the check, see if that works or not. But after he tried, it works. They got the money. So he was so surprised. He said they never saw like one person just talk few hours and then suddenly become so supportive. But later, he donated like $2.5 million for many years to Dr. Sun. And so later, after Dr. Sun becomes successful in the他有没有变 president? Yeah? No?
临时总统
Oh, like temporary
Temporary
president.
Prime
But
Minister.
yeah, but Mr. Zhang become the financial minister, the minister for financial department. Okay, and let me see. Okay, so 1902. That's the most. I only will show you two important events. One is 1902. C.T. Lu went to France with Mr. Zhang together, but he tried to hide the history of his past because he was an orphan and also worked as a worker, cook. He didn't tell anybody about that. So in the beginning, he from 1902 to 1907, he worked for Mr. Zhang in Paris, and then he learned everything from because they are doing the silk and also tea and also a little bit antique. Then later they find out to doing antique, doing art dealers make more money, so they start doing those. But every time he got the money, he sent the money to Dr. Sun. So C.T. Lu very upset about that. So finally, he just leave his boss. He said, okay, 1908, he just opened his own shop. However, when they have the trip to, from Shanghai to France, what happens in all the ministers, like 20 more ministers, is all in embassy from is the embassy office. So officers, they all embassy officers, correct. So, but on the ship for 2 months, and then he got a really good friendship with them. But since then, in the future, after he got a problem, he tried to hide, report, make some fake, like tax report, the claim form. He always used the lower money to reduce the tax, okay? And then, but because he know all these people, so every time in case the customers, grab something, he will, go to the officer and then they help him to solve the problem right away. So that's very important for him to get a business, doing business in the future. And then when World War I happened, he met Charles Lamb Freer on a train trip to New York. Charles Lamb is a really excellent person. He said that he has too much pressure from his business. That's Detroit, he's a great rich family, right? So he said he would go to China, just release his pressure, just for fun. And so every year he went to China to see some antiques and some stuff. Then finally he collected 6,000 pieces. Wow. Right, and right now you can see all the antiques and everything is in Freer Museum, become so famous. Later, from him, he introduced all the rich clients to C.T. Lu, so he's such an important person. And until 1948, when communists took over China, then that's how C.T. Lu bankrupt, because all the person worked for him being jailed and sentenced to death. And So he has, and in 49, you can see like more than 1,000 Chinese relics to Western countries and to private collectors and museums. But the other 242592 pieces to National Palace Museum in Taipei. So, and then 1950 at December, we got that's the flyer is for 60% off sale. And 52, he closed the New York shop, and 57, he died. But after he closed his shop, his daughter took over, actually from 52 to 2002. His daughter continued his business for another 50 years. But based on what they say, it seems they don't have any special stuff anymore. So this how beautiful her daughter is. And this is 1926. They built a red pagoda in France. In the time when they built, all the residents come out to fight with with them. Said, oh, you shouldn't build the Chinese stuff here, construction here. And then, but they said funny thing is 1970, the government wanted to take the house down. And all the residents come back and say, no, you cannot take the house down. So right now become a heritage, a place you cannot touch. Only like 2 stories is, 3 stories cannot touch. It's belong to the government right now. And this one is, he sent, right now you go to the British Museum. The time when I went to there, I was so shocked about such a huge Buddha sculpture, and actually it's from C.T. Lu. He got this and he tried to sell to John D. Rockefeller, and the Rockefeller would like to buy it. What happened is he found out the houses in Maine. He would like buy this sculpture and put it in his houses, but he said that's too huge. He couldn't, for transport or everything is too difficult. So finally, he sent to British Museum is when they have the whole world have a Chinese expo, like exhibition for all the Chinese arts. That's make after the exhibition, they said they create a record visitors for that exhibition. Then C.T. Lu right away talked to Hu Shi, that's the ambassador from Taiwan. He said, I send this one to you, to Taiwan government, to China government, and then you send to British government. Then this way belong to, you have friendship. So even today, when you go to there, you will find out C.T. Lu's name there. And the other one is, that's a U-Pen. Right now, U-Pen have 47 of his stuff. One of the credit they gave is, before him, most of people only know ceramics. Like Western world, only know ceramics. They don't know about anything about the tomb sculpture and the temple sculpture and also bronze and also jade. Nobody know, how to appreciate them. But he held exhibitions every year, and for peculiar product, stuff. And then he had every year he also published books and to explain how to appreciate, those stuff. So I saw the attachment is that's so many articles related to this. This one is from India, also a temple. So after they built this, it's really beautiful. And this the one Chinese people will say why he need being killed, being sentenced to death, because this is from Tang Taizong, the Emperor Tang Taizong. Is they in the tomb have 6 6 of these horses. And the artists are famous, called Yan Liben and Yan Lide. That's a brother and 2 brothers. They are the most famous artists and also the sculptor. So they did this, and City Lu, I believe is his people bribe everything and finally make the whole thing. Right now it's in Japan. And this one is also from Nelson Atkins. Nelson Atkins is the one actually received a lot of donations from him. What happened is they just formed the museum at that time. So the first director said, oh, I feel strange. This person, I don't know who he is. Why he wrote a letter to me so many times? He said he wants to show me some great stuff. So finally he asked for the board, and the board said, okay, let him come. But since then, later, every time he got some stuff, he will want the signal is, he told him, said, oh, come over to my place, the pagoda, and you can choose anyone you like, okay? Just get one. And so the person said, anyone? He said, yes, anyone. So finally, he got a wall painting. He said that's the most important, the most expensive one. At that time, is $16,000. Okay, and so after he asked, he said, you can have it. So he gave to him. And another museum is the Boston Museum. He also asked, and then he said the only thing is that you should agree is if I send it to you like the wall paintings, you should present at least 20 years, for 20 years. After 20 years, if you don't want, then you send to other museums. I would like other people to appreciate it. So from this, check the center, how beautiful this way is, right? And, but we also have really good one. Okay, this the one he said he's selling the exhibition, selling the art for orphan, to donate to orphan. And that's for archaic Chinese jade. Okay, Norma, before you go, I want to show you this too. That's the flying asparagus, right? But see what we have? Yeah. Okay, so also this. I remember George, probably this one, the one we sent to Freer Museum for 1 year, right? Loan to them? Is that the one?
This was from Xiangtangshan. Is Lu responsible for Xiangtangshan's destroy the Xiangtangshan? Was he the person?
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, yes. See that, the last one. Yes. That's last one. Yeah. See the one? This one is quite similar with, is.
This is not from alcohol.
That's from us. That's from the museum, okay? Yeah. So
from City Lu?
Yeah. No. That's from the our museum.
Yeah. Our collection.
What?
It's our collection.
Our collection.
Our collection. Yeah.
The one in the gallery right now. Yeah. Yes, this is from Xiangtangshan. The one.
Yeah.
Yes. Some of them is from Xiangtangshan.
So he must be the dealer who destroyed the Xiangtangshan.
Yes.
So
that's possible.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes, he is.
He does deserve a death sentence.
Yeah, that's right. That's what people say.
Okay, yeah, that's what. And also, this one is from Longmen, I remember.
Longmen School.
Yeah, this is from Longmen School. Another book right now just come out, and I just bought it, and next time probably I will show. It's called The Collector. It's talk about exactly the Longmen School which you collected. So finally, I just recommend. It's a study group for 2017. We should study China. And we definitely need more space for our sculptures. And but I found out the wood one, the last one, have more cracks in 20 years. Yeah, I found out much more cracks. I believe the temperature, for this is not too good. Yeah, humidity. Yeah. Okay. And then the last one is, in the future, we definitely will have a completed catalog, including the other stuff with permanent collection. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.